Hello, everyone out there. This is Romans 8:12, and this may be posted anywhere, but the point is, today, I was just thinking about the new focus the Lord has me on, and what's coming is that the conservatives and the Republicans, the corporations, those who are concerned with profit and making money and benefiting off of what is popular, that is not of all of those things that I just mentioned are not of the Lord. There are those who are in church or who claim to be gospel, who are showing, their bodies or doing pictures that are pornographic, like with water poured on your face, sweat dripping off your face, showing your upper chest, showing your the cleavage or the space in between one's breasts, things like this. Like there's another lady who is supposed to be singing gospel, but she has on like a corsage or whatever those things are that tighten up. They have all the straps on them and they tighten up, but her breasts were lift up and you could see her breasts out there. Those things are very attractive to those who are lustful. And it is easy for those of us who are not leaning towards those things to be, in other words, inundated. In other words, we are everywhere we go, it's everywhere. And so it is difficult for us not to be drawn to something that is always put in our face. And so, because I've been on boards, where they talk about gun rights and gun activism, for instance, and I am one person that I am happy to say, yeah, I keep the gun rights because I want my guns too. I know these are not things of the Lord, but I'm pointing this out as in other words, guns are not our weapons. Our weapons are different types of weapons, but when I go into the gun, I'm using this as an example. When I go into a gun rights, and I mention, yeah, I would like to keep the racism down in my neighborhood by using my gun. They talk about it keeps the crime down in their neighborhood by the fact that there are guns. These are code words for, crime is instigated by the poor, and most of the poor are not Caucasian. And I am sick of responding, or reacting to such things. I'm currently doing this video through the YouTube app to see if it uploads faster. And so the point is, the conservatives and the Republicans and the millennials, they want to ignore us, the rest of us. Like the Apple phone is for those who can afford it, and this is the technology that they are using to algorithms to find out what we like. Those who have the money to afford such things. And so those who do not have the money to afford the things that are, algorithmed, for instance, they are not the ones who are being sleep evaluated. Their keyboard typing, everything, keystrokes are not being evaluated. What is being evaluated are those who want money and who are a part of, quote unquote, the world, the things that I've already mentioned. The conservatives actually have their own news, their own network, and so on and so forth. They always have. and they have prospered because they did one thing that the rest of us do not do. They don't just they don't protest against the liberals. You may see some of that now, but most of the ones who are doing the protesting are not the ones who are in a position of power and control, because if you're in a position of power and control, there's no point in protesting. And this is what I'm saying. There are many of us who, like females, who are out there protesting about how women are treated. This is not the way to go. That is not the, you can, I'm not saying stop. I'm just saying build your own world. They want to make things that are exclusive of us, make things that are exclusive of them. Learn how to use the language, how to do it in the way that they are not involved. They will use people who do not have the power in order to try and stop you, to tie you up in court over exclusion. But as I say, keep on moving and keep on doing things in the Lord's way, because there are many things that people are doing. They're setting up these alternative lifestyles, this different world in rebellion to the Lord. And so it comes off as very angry and vengeful. That means whoever you're angry and vengeful with has power over you. And so it is up to us to create a world that does not include those who are like that. They do not exist. When you have power and authority, you just do it. You just are. And that is what the conservatives and that's what the Republicans have always done. People who are what we call narcissistic in their points of view. Me, I am more of the what we call the empath part of life, and I'm looking for a word, because the Lord is the greatest empath. And when you consider that he is the empath, that we all are to look up to Yeshua, that's what he did. He's the greatest empath ever to have ever existed. And when you can see that with your heart and with your spirit, then you can understand the Lord much better. Then you can understand love and how we are to treat each other. You can understand some of the controversial things that are out there, like the temptations of Christ, so on and so forth. Because I respect the Lord, Elohim, Yeshua, even more because of the fact that he did come down here and he was human. And we will go into that hopefully in another time. But the point is to go out there and make your own world and ignore those who are what we call haters or criticizers, or those who do not do things in the way of the Lord, in the way of Yeshua, with love, as 1 Corinthians 13:4-8 speaks of. Because without love, it is worthless. So go out there and do it in that way, in the way that you believe that it is correct. If everyone just stood on what they believed, I don't have to agree with you. In other words, the females who are claiming to be gospel and showing their parts of their body, I don't participate. I don't buy music for them. I don't have to sit here and talk about them and mention who they are and spend a bunch of time focusing on that. The gospel singers who want to speak, who want to show sweat coming off of their bodies and on their faces, I look for alternatives. That is what I ask the Lord for. This is what I'm searching for. This is what I'm going to start doing, start making in Yeshua's holy name. This is why you will see me without makeup. You will see me with makeup, because I am, as I say to the Lord many, many, many times, I am amongst people who do not follow you. I apologize to him frequently of the things that I do that are not of him, that I wish and I pray for a world that was filled with him, and those who are Christian, but they're what we call legalists and focusing on the law and the exactness of the word, are not coming from Yeshua in their heart, because the law is in the heart. It is not in the Bible. The law is in here. It is in his heart. It is not in the Bible. The Bible is just a guide. That is all it is. But it is not the law. The law is for those, is written in the heart. It's written in the Lord's heart. It's written in Yeshua's heart. And if you listen to that and respond and react in that way, then you are obeying the Lord. And so that is what the Lord has been guiding me to do, is the things that he has placed in my heart. And this is what I'm speaking forth to you. And we'll see how fast this loads up now that we're doing it through YouTube. And hopefully it'll be much faster. And as always, unorthodox and what we call unfamiliar or not average is where I strive to be, but I just am. That's just the way things are, and this is why I speak, because everything is not the way that is always portrayed out there. And so I'm saying to you, follow what has been placed in your heart, because if it is wrong, it will manifest itself. And if it is with the Lord, that also will manifest itself. Just be true to you, whatever it is, right or wrong. And this I say because there are those who follow the Lord and there are those who do not. And I am not afraid of what the Lord has placed in my heart. I am not afraid of Yeshua. And I portray that by what he has placed in my heart to say to all of you in Yeshua's holy name. Amen.